For 30 years, one of the most significant lives in all of history was lived almost completely behind the scenes. We get this incredible story of his birth, and then, well, pretty much nothing, just silence. But that silence gets broken, just once, for a single absolutely revealing story from his childhood.
And what he says in this one moment, it gives us this incredible first glimpse into who he truly knows himself to be. It's really a claim about his identity, about his destiny, and it's spoken right in the middle of a major family crisis.
For 12 whole years, we know next to nothing. Seriously, there's just one sentence. He grew, he became strong, and he was filled with wisdom. That's it. 12 years of a totally normal hidden life.
Okay, so to really get this story, we first have to understand the world he grew up in. And look, it wasn't Jerusalem, the center of power and religion. Nope, it was a small, working-class town up in Galilee.
This quote from the Gospel of John just says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures Nazareth's reputation. It was this obscure, kind of forgettable little village. Honestly, it's the last place anyone on earth would expect to find the Son of God. And he would have followed the same path as any other devout Jewish boy, which was a path of some seriously deep learning. I mean, this was a rigorous education. You're studying the Torah at age 5, and by 10, you're moving on to the super complex oral law. So at age 12, he is standing right on the edge of religious adulthood. This isn't just some curious kid. He has been deeply educated for years.
All right, so the story kicks off during the annual Passover pilgrimage to Jerusalem. And you have to picture this. It was a massive journey. People traveling in these large family caravans. And on the way home, his parents travel for a full day before they have that sinking realization he's not with them.
Now, just think about the sheer logistics of their panic. A full day's travel out, another full day's travel all the way back, and then 3 more days searching for one boy in a city that is absolutely swamped with Passover pilgrims. I mean, the sense of desperation must have been completely overwhelming.
The Bible uses this one specific Greek word to describe how Mary was feeling, odunamai. And this isn't just, being worried. This is anguish. It's a deep, painful distress. She's a mother who has just spent 3 days utterly terrified. So after those 3 long days, they finally find him, and the scene they walk into is just not what any parent would expect. He isn't crying, he's not frightened, he's in the temple courts. Get this, he's sitting with the leading Bible scholars of Jerusalem, and he's engaged in the kind of deep debate that was, standard for high-level study. But here's the real shocker. The teachers aren't just putting up with him, they are astonished at his understanding and his answers.
Mary's relief just comes pouring out as pure, raw frustration. You can feel the weight of those 3 agonizing days in her question. This is a real mom whose fear has just finally boiled over.
And his response? It's calm, it's direct, and it completely reframes the entire event. These are his first recorded words, and he's not just explaining where he was, he's explaining who he is.
This response right here is the absolute pivot point of the whole story. It's a massive declaration of his identity, but it's wrapped up in this gentle question. So what does he really mean by this? So when Jesus says, "I had to be," the Greek word used there is dei. And this has nothing to do with personal preference, like I wanted to be here. It means a divine necessity, a kind of compulsion that's rooted in God's will. He's basically saying, given who I am, this is the only place I could possibly be. And yet, Luke adds this crucial little detail. Even Mary, who knew from the very beginning that he was the Son of God, she couldn't fully grasp what he meant. And that just highlights this profound gap between knowing a fact and truly understanding what it implies.
So what happens after this incredible moment of revelation? A big public display? Miracles in the town square? No, nothing like that. He simply goes home. The boy who just calmly declared his unique relationship with God goes right back to Nazareth and is obedient to his earthly parents. He just returns to a completely normal life. And this connection between an extraordinary identity and just ordinary faithfulness, that's a theme we're going to see again and again. And after this one story, the silence starts all over again. For 18 more years, we hear nothing. He works, he learns, he lives in his community. The spectacular part of his life was built on decades of quiet, ordinary faithfulness. And that really leaves us with the central question of this whole period of his life, right? How does someone with a divine calling, with this deep sense of divine necessity, live that out in the day-to-day work of being a carpenter
in some obscure little village.
Those 18 years of silence were really the foundation for the moment his public work would finally begin. Because the next time we see him, he'll be standing in the Jordan River, and a voice from heaven is going to declare what he already knew way back at age 12. You are my son. And we'll explore that incredible moment next time.